Hello and welcome to CyberOne Training and Certification. If you're here for training today, but you're interested in learning more about our certification program and how you can become qualified as a CyberOne specialist, then just reach out to your account manager or email us at support@cb1security.com. So today we're going to be looking at our policy management module and how you can create policies or upload existing policies to the CyberOne platform. So let's go ahead and get into the management platform to begin. So we're in the management platform, and as you can see, we use our drop-down menu to select our module. We're going to be working in policy management, of course, today. And we're going to go to our policies tab. And here in this policy tab, you can see that we have a number of different policies already uploaded into the system. These, in fact, are all policy templates that are available as a client of CyberOne. If you need policy templates to help build out your governance structure, you can simply email us again at support@cb1security.com or reach out to your account manager and we can provide these for you. So note that we have a number of different field options here. So we have record types, and if I sort by record type, you'll see there are 3 record types. So we have 3 levels of policy in CyberOne. These policy descriptions are, these policy levels, are described when you go to create a new record. So you can see that we broadly describe a level 1 policy as a group-wide application, so a legal or regulatory document that needs to be approved by the board. Whereas a level 2 policy is something that might be more localized and targeted to a special team or a special group of regulations. And then the third, the level being that sort of standard operating procedure guidance document that you might use inside of the organization. These levels can be completely customized to fit your needs, of course. These are just guidelines or guiding principles for you as you build out your governance structure. So let's go back to our main list view. Then we also show the status of your policy so you can keep up with where your policy work is. Open policies are policies that are still being written. Published, of course, are ones that have been published already. And you can also archive your policies, so you always keep a record of historical documents or policies that you've created in the CyberOne platform. Published policies can also be viewed on the CyberOne portal. So any employee that has access to the CyberOne portal as a light user can go into their portal and see that published policy and attest to having viewed it, which again is sometimes a requirement depending on the certification process or compliance process that you're going through. Okay, so there's a couple of quick, very easy ways to then create these policy records. First, let's go to writing it into CyberOne. So what we're going to do is actually show you a record first. We'll go to our removable media one right at the top here. So you can see in the policy record, we have all of the different sections that are normal to an information security policy. You show the status here, and this status will change as you go through the workflow. We always keep track of the author, the person who's responsible for these policy documents, and the reviewer, that would be the team leader, or maybe that might be a committee. And so the person who is the point of contact for that committee, who ultimately reviews these policies and then allows them to be published. And then if we go into we're just going to save this for now. If we go back into that edit section, here it's a little easier to see those different sections. So you can see we have overview and purpose, scope, role and responsibility, so on and so forth, your compliance and enforcement, all of your policy statements. Everything can be written directly into the CyberOne platform. So the way we actually do that, to create that record, we'll go back to our policy tab list view, and we're just going to click new policy. Then we select our level, and we just click continue, and there you have it. We have an empty record now that we can begin to populate. We can save that at any time. We do have to populate the required field before we save. And then once we're ready, I'm going to cancel out of this. And then once we're ready and have finished our policy document, you can see it's open here, Then we simply make sure that we have the reviewer, and then we would submit it for approval. Okay, so the other way that we can keep policies in CyberOne, if like most companies you have policy documents that you've already prepared, you can transfer them into CyberOne by simple cut and paste into these different sections, or you can have CyberOne provide that as a service for you. And then what you can also do is you can keep those policy documents attached to the record simply by going to your policy documents section in your record and adding the new policy document. So as you can see, we have the document here. I'm just going to open it. And you can see that here we actually just have a record written, and we would upload our files. And just by doing that simple lookup there. Once that file has been added, we can then do a couple of other things, and this is why we actually recommend adding it to the file section. So I'm going to go into a record again that has the file uploaded already. So let's go back to our removable media. And go to the policy document again here. And here you'll see that the document has been uploaded. And so I'm going to open this document here, and you'll see that this takes me into a sharing view as well, where I can add different people in the organization to see that document and allow them to see and or edit the document. And also we have version control here, as you can see. So every time we upload a new version of the document using the upload link here, that version will show as an archive list here. So you can also keep all of the different documents that you create if you're still working in documents inside of CyberOne. However, of course, what we do want to make sure that we do, if we're going to do compliance and kick off that workflow in the CyberOne platform, we want to make sure that we have the record in the CyberOne system. So we can always go back to that record just by clicking the record ID here. That'll take us back to our removable media policy just by clicking again here. And now you can see that we can begin to build out our compliance directly from the policy record by clicking adding new internal controls, and that'll take us into our compliance workflow. So those are the two simple ways you can keep your policy work in CyberOne. You can bring in your documents if you already have all of your policies in documents, or again, you can create those policies directly in the system just by creating new policy records. So that concludes our training for today.